Okay, so this is a good spot to start off in as
Mm,
far as I tend to move up a little bit. So I tend to move up a little bit.
yeah.
If you move up to the edge of the brush, you can see them coming from through here.
Mm,
So you don't really have to. It gives you the ability to see them coming, so you be able to run quicker. If you're standing right there, see them as they turn the corner,
yeah.
and you're dead because anyone that invades has CC, and either you burn a flash or something. But if you start there, it gives you much more room to be able to see. But you can also stand up there, but that's a little more sketchy. People can throw hooks and stuff from right there.
Yeah.
Obviously, just do a little bit of auto attack. I don't know how Nautilus is supporting you. You don't
Yeah.
even have to do. You don't have to help him that far. Do a few auto attacks and then go.
Okay.
And the reason you want to do that is normally they should start. I forget what it's called. It's the little camp below red.
Mm,
But the thing you want to do is throw out 4 or 5 auto attacks and then go because you want to get there in time for your creep wave.
yeah.
You don't want to get pushed behind. And against playing as Ezreal, especially as Ashe, always try to stay behind him and
Yeah.
don't walk out like that because he can kill that and he could have shot a Q and hit you. And that Q can a Q auto attack will win him the trade almost every time.
Yeah.
Now obviously since you're playing against someone like Soraka, you don't want to just like keep volleying him because then
Mm,
she'll sustain it right back up. But something smart you could do since it is Ezreal Soraka and they're not the most aggressive lane is you could start E. Because that first 9 CS you got before you got your E,
yeah.
you missed out on, I think it's 27 CS or 27 gold. Since your E gives, I think 3 gold per minion slain. So I have a tendency to start E against non-threatening lanes.
Yeah.
Although if you're playing against, say, Ezreal Leona, it would probably be a better idea to start W. Do a little more threat. Yeah, don't be afraid to kind of poke him a bit, especially when he overextends like that. But
Yeah.
also, Nautilus is playing really passively. I almost always tend to go, yeah, so you do the same thing I tend to do. It's a matter of preference.
Yeah.
Obviously, I might run W if, like right there, you could have thrown out a W.
Yeah.
It's always a good idea to throw out a volley if if there's a really good chance you'll hit both. Then it's really helpful. And as far as this lane goes, it's really just a farm lane.
Yeah.
You should not get, especially since Nautilus is your support, you should not get killed.
I
But
don't think I do.
yeah, Nautilus should also be a bit more aggressive. But that's the problem with Nautilus is right there. Soraka walked up, throwing Nautilus throwing his hook onto Soraka would just devastate her. She can't
Mm,
heal herself except with her Q, and that's the problem that you're gonna run into with this lane. They're they're pretty good at poking. Soraka has gained a pretty good ability to poke, where she doesn't necessarily have to get into a certain range. Like for
yeah.
her Q and her E, there used to be a specific range. There she can throw and fade. Yeah, here I think what I would do as far as this lane goes, I don't know what you picked up first, but that's just a good job. You didn't need to flash.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't have flashed because that just the problem with playing Ashe, especially early, is you get devastated by ganks. You have no mobility. You can slow them slightly, but most like who's their jungler? You remember?
Oh, I think it might be Warwick.
Okay, then you kind of get away with burning your flash right there. Since around the time Warwick will hit level 6, he'll probably have about 2 minutes left on your flash.
Mm.
But also, the problem is taking this tower does put you in a little bit of an awkward position.
Because I can't really farm,
Yeah,
right?
and sometimes I guess people in lower elo don't exactly um, realize that, but sometimes it's better not to take the tower yet. Like there, you just want to assert your dominance.
Mm.
There you go. And I would also grab a pink too.
Yeah.
You can throw a pink into one of your defensive bushes, and it's really helpful because obviously it's pretty much going to stay there the whole time.
I know Lee was the jungler.
Oh, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, that is that's a big problem. Lee has fantastic ganks at level 2.
Mm.
And also, especially on Ashe, you never want to go ever.
No.
Heal. Heal is your number one priority on pretty much all 80. You're going to put out so much damage that your main worry should be staying alive. And heal does the best job for that.
Yeah.
Especially with Ashe, you never want to be in range to even have to use it. Like right there, you had to flash to ignite Ezreal.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you would have had to have burnt two burnt two abilities instead of having both of yours up and him not having either. And here I would definitely drink your potion. Sitting at about half health is kind of iffy, and it's not like you're gonna just magically gain that back since all you have is Doran's Blade. If you had like
Yeah.
a BT, obviously, or even Vampiric Scepter, I could understand, but Doran's and you need to be a little bit more aggressive with your poking. If you can get a Q onto the enemy champion,
Mm.
like an auto attack with your Q proc, that sets up Nautilus. And Nautilus might see that as an opportunity to get aggressive and jump on him, which Nautilus should be doing. You guys should be pressing this, especially at level 6. You guys, Nautilus has guaranteed. You know what dooms her?
I should have taken my art earlier.
Yeah, you should have grabbed it.
I
There,
think we get it, yeah.
there you go. Oh, see, and here it's as simple as turn on your Q. You ever turn on your Q?
Yeah, she just gets away. I remember this because it's slow.
The the thing is, kind of backed off. You were both on just different mindsets. You were
Yeah.
like, okay, I got to kill, I'll back off. And he was like, okay, well, there's another kill. There's another chance at a fantastic. What you guys should have done was do what he did. Um, you have a slow. Nautilus has his slow passive, which is a root, and his Q, which is obviously it's kind of a pull. So there's
Mm.
really no way Soraka can get away from the both of you. As far as that goes, I probably, as far as me personally, I probably would have gone with a pickaxe and boots.
Mm.
Um, obviously, you did pick up the boots. Thankfully, you listened.
I remembered.
But the main thing that you need to worry about is making sure that you are mobile enough to dodge their abilities. They're both,
Skill shot.
yeah, they're both skill shot reliant champions. Which that was good poke right there. You just walk up, auto
Yeah,
attack, get away.
because
Luckily,
my passive was
yeah,
on.
and that's a good thing to do. Is some higher elo people understand that. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna stand back. I'll give up a CS as long as Ashe wastes her passive.
Mm,
But some lower people, so if you can press the issue and get your passive proc, you'll pretty much win a trade
yeah.
if you can get your passive. Something that you also should have done, and it's really good, is especially when you're up this point where you don't really have to worry about just spamming mana,
Mm,
like you don't have to worry about running out of mana, is just spam your volley a little. Like when
yeah.
you went up and auto attacked him with your passive.
I should have
Simple,
W'd.
simple as that, yeah. Which here, there you go, good flash. Yeah, that's just smart of you to just run away. Nautilus is trying to pick it up. You should just keep running.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd die here because I don't.
Yeah, and that's the problem that you run into is um, low rage there. That's the problem that you ran into because you you will not out. Almost guaranteed you probably won't outdo.
Mm, unless I have my ult.
Yeah, if you have your ultimate, sure, but without it, no, because his Q and W and E way outrank your W. That's just I'm gonna say that's just E doing E things,
Yeah.
just running at people.
Yeah, so frustrating to play with.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you have a little bit of a kooky team.
Our mid is a bit weird, yeah.
So obviously it's a smart thing to do. Sometimes what I like to do, especially when you don't really have that big of a kill threat, is pick up an Avarice Blade.
And everywhere.
Avarice Blade. It's
Oh
what
yeah, the
yeah,
gold farm item, yeah.
yeah. It's huge, especially when you're just farming
Mm,
and they don't present that big of a kill threat. But it's also nice to get the crit.
yeah, the crit, yeah.
That was beautifully played. You don't want to engage with your, especially if you're playing with Ashe and Nautilus. You don't
Mm,
want to engage with your. Um, I saw that was like faker level
yeah,
dodge skill. You want to let Nautilus engage, and the reason you want to let Nautilus engage is because people can flash, or Ezreal can E out of your ult if he reacts well. They can't E. He can't E out of a Nautilus ult. So as soon as
mm,
Nautilus gets knocked up, which here you just need to back off.
yeah,
Your problem was that you saw this point, yeah. You knew Lee Sin was hovering around there,
yeah.
and as soon as you saw Kale come up, you should have
Mm,
just ran because you should have known that you were out. There were just too many people. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's a lot about um, understanding what kind of what's going on around you. You already saw Lee Sin throw out an ability,
mm,
so should have kind of been like, okay, he's around here. Push up more. He's gonna. And what you're doing is smart. You should just go mid and push. Try,
push, yeah.
yeah, push that because you're not gonna get bottom towers. I've been guilty of that too. Is trying to push up and take that second tier turret,
Mm,
and they just keep coming and ganking me like 2-on-3, 2-on-4, and I keep dying.
yeah,
It's getting them back into the game because you're two of you are dying. They're getting two free kills like every time. So it's one of those things you really worry about. Here, this is a terrible spot to run to. Should have just kept running since he is
I'm
right there.
certain I've died here.
Yeah. Your problem was you got like kind of I wouldn't say scared, but you got indecisive where
I
you were
do
like,
that a lot.
yeah, where you're like, I don't know which way I want to run.
We get away with the team fight and the dragon though.
Yeah, which gay for in Fizz doing crazy amounts of damage. But
Yeah.
you got caught because you were trying to run through a direction against mobile people, especially people who have slows and stuns and stuff, and gap closers into around an area. So here you have no vision there, and you have no vision up here. So it's a terrible idea to run through here. They can pop out of nowhere. I mean, they can even jump over the wall and close on you. So I could understand if you had most of your team sitting down there.
Can you just pause the video for a sec?
Yeah. So it's one of those things that you got to realize. There's a lot of kind of danger you have to, especially as Ashe, which you're just not paying attention here.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that you want for heal. Luckily, might get away. No, you run
No,
right
I
into
don't.
Ashe.
I run into his, and then he's behind me. Yeah, I die. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I die this game though.
So obviously you understand what you did wrong there.
Yeah.
Always
I
gotta
wasn't
pay
like
attention to
paying
what you're doing.
attention to where I was running to.
Yeah. And here, as far as your build goes, definitely want to pick up a Shiv,
Shiv, yeah, I get told that.
or
I got told that by my friend.
at least a Zeal quickly, because the main thing of Ashe is what I call and what many people call a support AD character. She doesn't put out tremendous damage, but she has a lot of support capabilities. She has an engage. She has an sort of AoE slow. She has an auto attack slow, and she has kind of I'd call it like a long distance ward or short ward. So it does have a lot of support capabilities, and with that zeal, it allows you to continuously slow all the time. You're just keeping that slow on them. Even if they have tenacity, that slow is pretty much permanently on.
Yeah.
Also, shivs are nice for pushing because you can volley a wave and then shiv it and a lot of minions.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, so what you're doing is smart. What you should do is you should be up towards their blue. Just throw an E over there, although you did ace them,
Yeah.
which is nice. But you can't really duel very many people. As you saw, Lee Sin kind of can't really duel well.
Yeah.
I don't know why that target. I hate the tower target sometimes. It's something like that. So you getting hit by the tower stopped you from being able to put out quite a bit of
Yeah.
damage actually. Here you should buy stuff to build up to a zeal, and definitely do not build a Blade of the Ring on Ashe.
Oh. Okay.
Never do that. It is nice. It's cool to have that extra attack speed and even active. But the thing you have to worry about is when are you going to use the Blade of the Rune King? When somebody is next to you.
Oh.
That's the thing that your positioning should fix. Your
Right.
positioning make it so you don't even need the Blade of the Rune. And you want to put out even more damage. You want your crits to do even more with the Bloodthirster. As well, Bloodthirster gives better sustain. Blade of the Rune King is meant more towards, from what I've experienced, it's meant more towards duelist type champion.
Yeah.
So, Bane, even
Quinn.
Jinx, Quinn works. You can work on Lucian. So it's those types of champions that are more towards dueling and kind of getting in people's faces a little bit.
Yeah.
Jinx works because when you're chasing something down, run up on with your passive, play the Rune King, and
Mm.
hard for someone to play. And obviously, for Vayne, she's pretty scary. There, you
Yeah.
just kind of walk straight into it. Although, how you
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
survived,
get away with this one. I go in and help him, and then we run away.
and you know what you want to do? Run
Back.
down. Don't back right there. That's a terrible place. You know why?
Ooh,
What if they
because
have
they
a
can
ward
see
sitting
me.
there?
Yeah.
You don't have flash. Anyone can
Yeah.
kill you. The other beauty of rushing a Shiv, or not even just rushing a Shiv, but rushing a Zeal, is it gives you a better chance for your Infinity Edge work. As well, it gives you more movement speed, so it makes fighting easier, and
Mm.
and the attack speed's helpful. So it gives you a lot of things more
That Ashe
quickly
needs.
that Ashe needs and Blade of the Rune King doesn't give.
Yeah.
Problem with building your Cutlass is all it does is give lifesteal and some damage.
Yeah.
That's it. Which, don't be afraid to use your E. Like, the thing is, if you threw your E out right there,
Mm.
um, towards the bush that the E is over by,
Yeah.
then you wouldn't have to much about whether or not there's four people waiting right there. I've done
Yeah.
that where, like, you can throw your E over the wall. Throw your E over the wall, you can see who's there. It's nice. There, you should ult.
Yeah. I think I end up. I didn't want to steal the kill, but
It's it's not as much about stealing the kill, 'cause it's not an actual. I hate the word steal. I can understand if it's like the guy's gonna kill him on his own, guaranteed, like standing right next to him.
yeah.
But Fizz was chasing Soraka. All it took was a Lee Sin kick to save Soraka. All it
Mm.
took.
The thing is that I kind of wanted to save my ult. I think when I was playing for some better like team fight potential,
Oh,
not waste it
definitely,
on the support.
definitely. But taking out, don't be afraid to burn your ult on a single person.
Yeah.
Um, because if you can, even if you don't have your ult, if you can turn it to a 4v or a 5v4, it's huge.
Mm.
It's incredibly, because you take Soraka out of the fight, what do you take away? Take away a silence, you take away a ton of healing, you take away a group heal, and you even
Yeah.
take away a potential slow and a little bit of damage. That's big for just burning your ult, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Whoa, your game is tweaking. Um,
Is it?
I don't think it's mine.
Mm.
Um,
Was it just like opening the shop?
maybe I don't know. So it's one of those things that you kind of realize that don't be afraid to burn your ult. It is only a 60-second cooldown or a 70-second, I think. Really not that long for how good it is. And by the time Soraka's back up, you'll have 30 seconds on it, and then you
Mm.
can kind of chill back until you're ult for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You won't lose a ton of stuff in 30 seconds, which that is you need to worry about your positioning.
Yeah.
Flash.
I got greedy.
That's that's something I've experienced a lot. I've both talked to lower elo people as well as played with and against
Mm.
them.
Yeah.
They burn a lot of stuff just trying to get that extra.
Yeah. I'm
You don't
trying
need
to like before when I was killing the inhib, I really wanted to go after Soraka, but then I remembered you said objectives are more important. So
definitely. You can't win off of kills. You don't win
yeah.
kills. unless you demoralize the enemy so badly with kills that they just quit.
Yeah, which happens, but
It's happened before, but maybe about every 1 in 20 times that happens, where it's
mm,
just strictly kills, they're like, shit, we're done. Otherwise, you're just getting so many objectives and kills that you just devastate the other person. Rip Fizz.
yeah, too greedy. I think
Like
I get
there, what you need to do is tab right there and check.
it. Mm,
Check to see who's up. Also, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to use your Blither and passive or your
yeah,
active, because that would have slowed them and give
for
up with them.
sure. We
Here,
just finished it.
just don't try and finish.
No,
No. See what happens?
yeah,
Everyone dies. And the reason that everyone dies is because you don't put out the craziest amount of damage, especially because you
mm,
only have like 3 kills and 10 assists, and you got some pretty good CS. But you're not fed, not like crazy fed.
yeah,
You also have a support Nautilus. Nautilus doesn't really put out that crazy amount, and also have to worry about Yasuo and Lee Sin. A Lee Sin kick is a free Yasuo. Both of those, you're dead.
yeah,
That's the reason that a lot of people hate playing AD carries. You're so freaking squishy against so many assassins.
mm,
So it's one of those things that you realize you have to worry about. So definitely, this game. I think this game is wrapping up soon.
it is. Yeah,
The number one thing you need to worry about is definitely correct item builds. The one thing, obviously, the number one thing, stress. Like I was just saying, um,
yeah,
item builds. The difference between your damage output, like a little bit better damage output, is the item build. People
yeah,
rushing, Blade of the Rune King, Static Shiv on Yasuo, you'll put out less damage than if you rush an IE and Static Shiv.
mm,
Same thing on like Draven. Draven's probably the one champion that was good. You need to make sure you also do
W,
activate your Q.
RQ.
You waited to activate your Q against someone who wasn't running, but someone who was running, you didn't activate it.
Yeah,
If he ward jumped, he might have gotten away. It's that much, but the game does wrap up, so obviously the number one thing I will stress, I'll pause this. Number one thing I will stress, like I just said, item builds and positioning.
mm,
Number one thing you got to worry about, saw it a couple times, um, where you kind of ran up near Lee Sin, almost where he could just E and hit you,
yeah,
and that's the last thing you want, especially as Ashe, who your only mode of mobility is flash.
mm,
You need to worry about that. Obviously, you can get away with it with like Lucian, because way or even Ezreal,
yeah,
but anybody like Jinx, Draven, um, Ashe, Sivir, anyone who doesn't have a jump,
mm,
positioning is insane. And positioning is still insane for all AD carries, but some can kind of get away with it. So that's pretty much everything on that video.
yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna leave with you. Also, I would not play Ashe. Say that
Like ever.
ever.
But skin.
She's so fun, but especially for ranked, don't. He gets
Okay.
destroyed by most people.
Yeah.
Lucian destroys her, Graves destroys her, Draven embarrasses her, Jinx beats her up. I mean, even champions like Twitch don't have a terrible time against her, so. I think she does kind of Vayne, though, which is the funny part.
I know Quinn counters Vayne, which is like the best thing ever because there's so many Vayne players.
Yeah. Jinx. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so, the end of that.